I'm live. And I'm going to say hello, everybody, and I'm going to wait until people come in before I start the bulk of my talk. You're probably wondering where I'm at. I'll let you know in a second. Let's see here. The live stream. Hopefully you get the notification. If you don't get the notification when you come in, let me know. I'll ask you. Stream is good. You on the watch page? Let's see here. Watch page is. Let's put it on mute. Mute. There it is on mute. And let's see here. We have one viewer. Hello. And we have. Make sure that this is set before I talk. I'm waiting for everybody to come on in. Well, some folks to come on in before I get started. In earnest. Boom. Save changes. Go to control room. Go to watch page. And stream status is good. Let's see here. Now we'll say hello. And hello. Hello from SFO. SFO Airport. Hello from SFO. Hey, Henry, how are you? Welcome. I am at San Francisco International Airport. I'm at gate 62. And I'll be doing this for about, let's see, 1 hour, probably a little less than an hour. And then my flight boards, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, hello from SFO. I got 4, and I'm going to thumb up here, and I'll tweet this out. Henry, what's new in the world? How's the life of a psychotherapist? I'll wait until more people come in, and then I'll start talking about the NFL transactions so that people don't feel like they missed too much, right? Let's see here. Hey, Mr. Mitchell, how are you doing? Hope all is well. What's new in your world? I'm waiting for more to come in before I start talking about NFL transactions. And Henry Flores says, Henry Flores is, for those of you who can't see the stream, Henry Flores is one of my regular viewers. He's a psychotherapist, and I asked him how business was, and he said, depressing, a therapist joke. So we've got, let's see here. If you're wondering where I'm at gate, as I said before, I'm at gate 62. Here's a look at it. See, ta-da. And the plane is coming behind me. That's actually, yeah, sorry about that little back interruption. I'm back. I am headed to Atlanta. Donis, how are you? And Mr. McClendon. Hey, Mr. McClendon, how are you? Yes, I'm way back for the ATO for a short stay, about a week, and mainly to do some work and help out the parents, mom, but and then come back this way. So yes, I am, and I am back. So we've got. Sorry about the whole stream interruption, but got a call I had to answer. That happens. Now we got 4. James McClendon says, good, thank you, and yourself. I'm fine. You know, I'm fine. The Raiders training camp was a heck of an experience. It was great to see people like George Atkinson, I have known since '81, and Ray Chester, who I've known since '81, and Mike Taylor, Raiders PR, who are known since '93. And Aaron Edwards says, it's been a while since yeah. Aaron, welcome. Nice to see you. I'm fine. I'm at gate 62 at SFO Airport. I'm just fine. And I'm always been bi-coastal. Gosh, it's just that the stream is new, so you're just getting a taste of what I've been doing, right? But yeah, bi-coastal for some time. I am. And what else is going on here? We've got Mr. Edwards, where have you been? Tell us. Erwin Edwards, where have you been? James McClendon, where have you been? Just curious. Just curious. And welcome to Zenny62, by the way. Okay, I'm going to get started talking about the National Football League and transactions today, all right? First of all, as far as Las Vegas news, there isn't any. Nothing brand new. Nothing that I have discovered yet. I'm still working and digging to find out what's going on. You know, look, I'll report news, good or bad. For example, I reported news on the non-relocation agreement that's supposed to be signed. The Las Vegas Stadium Authority meets on August 17th. There is no document posted yet that goes with that at this point. And so I haven't heard anything that would indicate the Raiders aren't going to sign it. Mark Davis did not make himself available, and I didn't seek to bug him about it, right? Aaron is in Tallahassee, Florida. Tallahassee? Isn't that where Florida State is? Don't you guys have like a kind of a cocktail row there or something like that? So, I'm just curious. Tallahassee, Florida. Right? So, Barry and Lee. Welcome, Barry. How are you? The moderator is here. I thought Gore Warriors was going to be here. He sent me an email saying that he apologized for being absent, but he planned to be around. I haven't seen him. Love to see him. But as far as I was saying, as far as Raiders in Las Vegas is concerned, I also made a video that emphasized the fact that the lease that the NFL signed was indeed conditional upon completion of 13 other documents, including there are two non-relocation agreements that have to be signed. There's the UNLV joint use agreement that has to be completed. There is the there's of course the construction and labor agreement that has still not been done. There is the what we call the due diligence and development agreement that is way not done. In fact, you really have to have the design of the facility out of the way before you can really have the development agreement done. So just from experience, the architects, I'm certain they're working hard on the on the design for the stadium, and so that will guide the development agreement. Okay, that will guide the development agreement. So McClendon says, I've been around, a little struggle with the health. I'm sorry, Mr. McClendon, but I did watch the start of the JPA meetings. You spoke really eloquently. Thank you very much, Mr. McClendon. I really appreciate that. It was a nice place to be with people I've known for, wow, I would say 20-something years and worked with, right? So the feedback that I'm getting, I'm increasingly confident that this is going to work, meaning that the JPA will back a legal pursuit as long as no taxpayer dollars are involved. That's the way it's laying out. So if the legal design continues to unfold as it is, that's exactly what's going to happen. There's a lot of excitement about it. So there's a lot of feeling that, hey, this is really going to happen, you know? And like I said before, and I'll say again, the next step is really to get litigation financing of some kind, because, I mean, in the millions, not like $6,000 here or $7,000 there. As I've said before, it reminds me of Kong Skull Island and the scene where John C. Reilly says, hey, look, you're not going to go into a house dropping bombs unless you're going to start a fight, right? That's what this situation is. So now, as far as other news regarding Las Vegas, it's really been quiet. Now, nothing is perfect. What I mean by that is the meetings haven't been there are a number of things going on. Okay, first of all, the architects are developing the design, the detailed designs for the structure. That's one thing. You've got construction and labor agreements being negotiated on. You have people, you also have the contractors trying to sign up people who are going to work on this structure. And that's a process, because you have to make sure they're vetted, that they can actually do the work they say they can do. So that's a lot of work unto itself, okay? And that's the other thing. So then you have the constant watch of the collection of the hotel tax revenue from the hotel tax increase that was 88% of 1%. And I believe we're getting close to the next report, which will be by August 14th, excuse me. August 4th is this Friday, not the 4th, okay? So that's where all of that is right now. And when I read, as far as the reception this deal is getting in Las Vegas, when I read, like, for example, Vital Las Vegas, people are not excited about it. And that's to be noted, okay? That is to be noted. The more information I take in, the more I believe this has been an incredible mistake that is only going to unfold to be more of a mistake as time goes on, unless it's reversed. That's one part of me that sees that. Now, I think a lot's going to... There are two items at play here. There is this legal issue, that's the one. There's also legalized gambling is the other. If gambling is legalized, which could happen at the Supreme Court level, in full with respect to sports, that could change this entire picture and make it more logical to do. Does that make sense? Okay, be a dawning of a new day. There you go. But to say the least. Now, as to when that is going to happen is another question. Now let's get to the NFL transactions. I've got my NFL page open. I've got, okay, and McClendon says, so this move isn't getting a lot of fanfare in Las Vegas? No, it's not. No. In fact, I read a blog called Vital Las Vegas just in preparation, because I always like to keep it, but if you want to understand the pulse of a community, read the blogs. Take a look at the blogs and video blogs, what people are talking about. And Vital Las Vegas features depictions, posts about restaurants and hotels and who's doing what. They were talking about the Fontainebleau and how the Fontainebleau was 70-story monstrosity. I think it's a beautiful monstrosity that Las Vegas officials have been saying, hey, you just do something to make it look better, because it looks like an eyesore, right? In the middle of the paragraph, the Vital Las Vegas person wrote that the Fontainebleau is going to have 6,013 parking spaces, which is, and I quote, roughly 3 times the number that the Raiders Stadium is supposed to have. And then the person wrote, but don't get us started on that. Okay? That's one of the top blogs in Las Vegas saying that. So there's not excitement about it. And I think there's a lot of trepidation. There is a lot, because it wasn't something the voters voted on. They didn't say, okay, we want this. And now, if you talk to certain laborers, it's a different story. If you look at the lines of people that have queued up for work from around the country that have come there, it's a different story, okay? Hey, John Marks, how you doing? Welcome. It's a different story. But the lines of people that have queued up, the other concern is many of those contractors are not from Las Vegas. They're fronts. In other words, they'll have a Las Vegas address, but they're actually located someplace else. They're not truly a Nevada concern, okay? So I'm looking up to see where I am on the list here. right. They're not truly a Las Vegas concern. There's a lot of that, and if you're getting situations where businesses are not truly a Las Vegas concern, you may very well be getting businesses that are also not minority, and that makes it harder if you have a lot of them coming in. They're very well qualified, unless it makes it harder to meet the quota in theory. Zinni, HBO has a show called for ballers. Wait a minute, let me read this because Henry Flores has an interesting. Henry Flores says Zinni, HBO has a. This is what I'm looking at, folks, right here. Okay, see that? It says HBO has a show called Ballers, and in one episode, it shows a player getting in $1 million debt in a matter of minutes. The show pretty much paints a negative picture of Las Vegas. I saw part of that episode where they were talking about. I think Ballers is a show on HBO that features Dwayne The Rock Johnson as a kind of a super sports agent, yeah. And in that, he meets with this sports executive woman that he's trying to bring pro football to Las Vegas. I didn't see all of it. I went to someplace, but what Henry Flores is telling me about is that I remember there was a negative view that was portrayed of what would happen to pro football players, and in this case, Henry is saying that one of them went $1 million in debt in minutes. Yeah, wow. McClendon says so. Those actions in itself sound very nefarious, with the citizens not taking a vote on this move. Right, the citizens didn't take a vote at all. And John Mark says I have no audio to the show. I'm not quite sure. The audio is working for me, John. Joseph Jones says, hey, Joseph, how are you? Oh, Joseph, you didn't get your notification. I'll let YouTube know that. And Barry Lee says that the volume is fine on his end, John Marks. And yeah, it's working for me too. At any rate, hey, Barry, can you tweet out hashtag NFL, please? Thank you. When you go out to Twitter. Also, all right, so back where we are is I'm also looking at the list to see I see my name. All right. Now, oh, hey, Melvin Lovejoy, how are you? Welcome. Oh, by the way, folks, we now have a good house. Not that we didn't have it before. Eric Young, hey, Mr. Young, thank you very much for your message the other day. I got it. It's very nice. Mr. Young says, I'm just getting here. Sorry I'm late. What was the result of the JPA meeting? Are they behind us? Has a decision been made? Let me get to that the second, Mr. Young. And I'm going to finish talking about the situation with how we came to, in fact, I want to make sure that I'm answering Mr. McClendon's question regarding, in a sense, how we got here with respect to the Las Vegas Stadium Authority and the Raiders Stadium. Last year, Sheldon Adelson was partnered with Mark Davis, representing the Raiders, the owner, and Adelson put in a hefty sum of money. And among other things, he bought his own lobbying army, and they strong-armed, and to make a long story short, they got the Nevada legislature, both the Assembly and the Senate, to vote in favor of something called the Southern Nevada Tourism and Improvements Act, which was based on the recommendations of the Southern Nevada Tourism and Infrastructure Committee. And they narrowly voted. In fact, the vote was almost killed by the leak of a study by the Department of Transportation of Nevada, which pegged the cost of off-site transit improvements with respect to the Raiders Stadium at almost $1 billion, specifically just north of $900 million. Everyone went ape. That caused a lot of yes votes to flip to no's, but at the last minute, Adelson's people did a lot of what they call vote trading and log rolling, and they got it just by, I believe, 1 or 2 votes in the assembly. That was it. At that time, the Nevada Assembly was mostly Republican. Now it's mostly Democrat. When residents were polled they came out when they knew about the details, 60% against a bond issue, but they never got to vote. It was basically, the governor basically in-ran the voters. And the governor had nothing to lose because Governor Sandoval was termed out. 2018, he's history. So that, Mr. McClendon, I hope that explains how we got here. And as far as the land and its purchase, hey, Mr. Marks, hey, how you doing? So as far as, hey, Mr. McClendon, did you hear that? Because that's how we got here. I hope that makes sense. So hope you give me a thumbs up or something that you're a yes or whatever, or pet thumb down. I don't care. But I'm just kidding. Let me know that you got that information, James McClendon. At any rate, that's how we got there. Okay. And now, as far as NFL transactions, the other question, this is to Eric Young. Eric Young says, oh, you're welcome, Mr. McClendon. He says, I'm just getting here. Sorry I'm late. What was the result of the JPA meeting? Are they behind us? Has the decision been made? Well, the JPA meeting was never to be a vote, okay? It was discussion. Some, like Alameda County Supervisor Scott Haggerty, were under the impression that there was going to be a vote, but there was not. Also, but the upshot of the meeting was that it was a positive reception. Once the commissioners discovered that the intent was to pay for the legal approach by some form of private financing, like litigation finance, everyone, fell right into line. Now, they went into closed session, but the closed session had nothing to do, I'm told, with that issue. It had to do with something else. So I don't know what that something else is. I understand there's a conflict of interest between Brownfield, there's a Brownfield law firm, and oh, you got it? Great, Mr. Clinton. Yeah, and Brownfield is both the counsel to the Joint Powers Authority in Oakland, but also they are co-counsel to the Las Vegas Stadium Authority, two different, attorneys. Now, the City of Oakland's city attorney seems to think that's a conflict of interest. The Las Vegas Stadium Authority said nothing about it, okay? Which I think is interesting. So that was one issue that did come up in closed session. I don't know what the other one is. I believe it had to do with the Warriors. So, but the feedback that I'm getting is regarding this legal issue we're talking about with Forever Oakland, We Stand for Oakland. They seem to be in the clear towards supporting it. That's it. So, and as I say that, folks, don't forget to, here we go, don't forget to invest what you can. Right there is the, boom. And, yeah, there's the link, which I believe now you can see, okay? Frosty the Snowman says, I have to be honest, the 66th mob looks like they've never been a Raider game before. They were back in 95. Don't know that. Joseph says, with respect to your source, is there no new information in Vegas as possibly he or she was misled? Misled on what, Mr. Jones? Can you explain?
Welcome to San Francisco
when I say
International Airport,
no new information, it's not new to me, but
airport security by maintaining possession
I mean, there's a process going on. That's new every day, right?
Any suspicious activity
but when you say that, what are you referring to?
911 on any airport telephone.
Because, yeah.
Thank you for helping.
I mean, no new information today. Hey, Boss is in. Hey, how you doing, Boss? And let's see here. Now this is going. Oh, Joseph Jones, non-relocation signing. Oh, no, Mr. Jones. I said that the Raiders were slated to sign it. I didn't say that they had, okay? I was told, my source is very, very good. And, I mean, my source is very well placed. Wouldn't seek to mislead me because I would probably like to turn around and call out the source, right? But my bottom line is no. Cool, you got it? Right. Now, McClendon says, why is Mayor Schaaf not getting in front of this movement? I think that's a question you have to ask Mayor Schaaf. Behind the scenes, she's supportive, I'm told. I haven't talked to her in quite a while. But that's a question I think that you have to ask Libby Schaaf. I believe that, knowing Libby as I do, first of all, it's an election year. Second of all, she feels burned in the way I think maybe she perceives she was turned on. I'm just reading Libby, okay? That's what's going on here. Hey, your comments are going by really fast. If you want me to really hone in on one, just go to Super Chat and, you know, put an investment in, and that way it'll stick up there, because these comments are starting to go like pinballs or like slot machine numbers, right? Frosty says, boss, I've been following this for a while. He's been in the Raiders games. Okay, you guys are all right doing your thing. Mr. Gray, welcome. How are you? How you doing? And it's 9:32 p.m. right now. Well, I've got more time than I realized. It's pretty cool. And there's 30 of you. Welcome to Zenny 62 here at Gate 62 at San Francisco International Airport, folks. Have a look. Ta-da. And behind me, ta-da. Ta-da. All right. And there. Traveling on a 737. Frosty's snowman is arguing with Boss. Okay, fine. I'm not going to repeat that on camera. They're having their little chat argument. Excuse me. They're having their little chat argument, all right? That's them. But I think, all right. I will go now to talk about NFL transactions real quick, because I said that's part of the title. And, hey, Frosty, thanks. I'm going to tweet out real quick. One more. How many of you are on Twitter? Give me a yes. For those of you who are on Twitter, give me a yes, please. No, don't ban anybody. Don't ban anybody. I got it. I can either choose to. Don't worry about it, John. I appreciate it, but don't worry about it, okay? I am tweeting out right now. So, there. Okay, tweeting out. There. All right. Scott Worden says, if you had 5 all-time Raiders to start an NFL team, who would they be and why? Scott, good question. First of all, at quarterback, 5 all-time Raiders. Ken Stabler. Yep, going to Atlanta. Ken Stabler would be one at quarterback. Jerry Rice at wide receiver. Cliff Branch at wide receiver. Running back, I would have to choose the incomparable Bo Jackson paired with Marcus Allen. That's 4, right? 5, right there. I think I named 5. Okay, there you go. I named 5. So there you go, Mr. Wooden. I named 5. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Jerry is all pro, man. I know some people have their issues with Jerry. I don't. Jerry is all pro. So anyway, and so let's see here. LX9933. When is the next JPA meeting? I'm waiting for that to be scheduled. Hey, boss, have you heard anything about the next JPA meeting scheduled? Hey, Jerry helped took us to a Super Bowl. I like Jerry Rice. Jerry, you know, Jerry's cool. I like Jerry Rice. So John Marks says, Frosty the Snowman, why are you hating on the 66th mob? This is like, folks, what I've got here is, I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is what it is. This is the crosstalk, okay? See that? That's what is going on here. Quarterback Plunkett. All right, see? So sometimes they get on my stream and they talk to each other. But I'm not going to repeat their conversation. So anyway, I will go and talk about NFL transactions. And here we go, NFL transactions. This is what I'm looking at right here, okay? Boom, NFL transactions for August 1st, 2017, all right? And rather than force you to read them, I'll read them, okay? So, Cincinnati waived Monty Madeira, wide receiver from Michigan State, and They waived him from the reserve physically, the PUP list, the physically unable to perform list. And then Dina Gray, Texas Christian wide receiver, Houston, was waived. And Aaron, I'm not gonna. That's way off topic, and I'm not gonna get to it. So let's see here. Kansas City, Ryan and Matt is Emmanuel Byrd, the tight end from Marshall, was waived, as was Antoine Goodsey, Baylor wide receiver, was waived. Antoine Goodsey is actually a speedster. Someone ought to pick him up off the waiver wire. Okay, I don't know who. All right, so but he's also injured. I don't know what the extent of Antoine Goodsey's injury is, but assuming he can overcome it, that's a fine. I certainly hope that he overcomes his injury. New Orleans put Santa Tutu linebacker Brigham Young on the waiver list, injured. As did San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy Gilbert, linebacker of Colorado, was injured. And so, let's see here. We've got, check this out, folks. Look at this. Look at this. Plane coming in. That's my plane coming in. Baltimore is David Olson, Clemson quarterback. He's terminated by the waiver system. So John Brown, Louisville Kickers, on the waiver, was waived by the Bengals. Now here are the active list additions. Active list additions, we have Marquise Gilchrist, defensive back out of Clemson for Houston, as well as DeAndrew White, wide receiver out of Alabama, to Houston. Kansas City added Corey Washington, wide receiver out of Newberry. Robert Wheelwright was going to the Chiefs, so wide receiver out of Wisconsin. So the Chiefs are adding wide receivers. New Orleans added running back Darius Victor out of Tolson. Jonathan Walton, linebacker out of South Carolina. The New York Giants added a kicker, Mike Nugent, out of Ohio State. San Francisco adds Lewis Murphy. Hey, wait a minute. Lewis Murphy from the Raiders. That's right. The 49ers picked up Lewis Murphy from the Raiders, right? Florida wide receiver Lewis Murphy goes to the San Francisco 49ers. Take a look. There it is right there, folks. All right. So we've got reserve list additions. Arizona, take a look here. We got Arizona. Alani Fua, linebacker Brigham Young, while his reserve injured waive does not count against Leidy limit. Ronald Zanori, defensive back out of Western Michigan. Jacksonville put Torrin Nixon, defensive back of Tulane, on the list. The Niners put B.J. Johnson, wide receiver out of Georgia Southern, on the list. So they put him on the list, and they got Lewis Murphy to replace him. Washington, Keith Marshall, running back out of Georgia. And other transactions and comments. Only Jacksonville put Brandon Albert, Virginia tackle, on the exempt squad. And Don Carey with the Lions was passed his physical. Defensive back out of Norfolk State with Detroit. So that's where that settles out. Those are all the transactions for the NFL for today, August 1st, 2017. Okay. Additionally, let's see what else we have. Henry Flores says, "Yeah, Plunkett might." Okay. A lot of people are upset that I didn't pick Jim Plunkett. Well, Ken Stabler's the other than Daryl LaMonica, was actually at the Alumni Day in Snappa. The late Kenny Stabler is Mr. Raider. You just have to say it. Let's see here. We've got, you guys are, let's see here. All right, so what's is happening? We've got the other news here is as far as the Raiders are concerned this year, offensively, I believe E.J. Manuel, I said this the other day, I'm going to say it again, I believe E.J. Manuel is going to really push Derek Carr to be his best this year, and I think that was a smart addition by Reggie McKenzie. And so I think that we've got the advantage that E.J. Manuel brings to the Raiders is a quick release and high mobility. He's a faster runner than Derek Carr, gets out of the pocket better. The only knock on E.J. Manuel was his ability to read defenses, but I contend that is a byproduct of poor coaching. Quarterbacks only do what coaches tell them to do by and large. Today, this isn't the 70s when Ken Stabler was basically told to call the plays, given a design of plays to, run, and that was it. It's far different. So, E.J. Manuel, I'm not saying E.J. Manuel's going to start, but what I find interesting is that some of the viewers believe that when I say E.J. Manuel's, going to push Derek Carr to be better, that they're going to replace him. No, I'm not saying that at all. They have a huge investment in Derek Carr. Let's get that out of the way. But the fact is, he could be injured. And we could wind up with what we had last fall, which was Connor Cook. And Connor Cook did not perform well against the Texans, but it wasn't really all his fault. He was given a lousy game plan. The game plan was just bad, okay? It was horrible. So, it was just bad. So, really bad. So, this flight's filling up. You got the upgrade list, standby list. Okay, let's see what's happening here. This is one of those flights that had a ton of empty seats, but now people are coming in and they're occupying them. See what happens. I'll get on them. But anyway, let's see. I would take the. Oh, the other issue is Colin Kaepernick. And Colin Kaepernick is being evaluated by the Ravens. I don't know where that is right now. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm listening to the guy announcing it. So, hey guys, I'm going to put you all in a timeout. Well, I'm thinking that because, all right, Frosty and Boss, you guys are out. Got to kill that one. Because I want to give other people a chance to talk. Well, whatever, forget it. Never mind. For those of you who can't see it, it's like this sort of interesting, argument that they're having that's, whatever, it's an argument. But does anybody out there have a question that has to do with either NFL transactions or Las Vegas out there? So, let's see here.
Your attention, please. TSA has limited the items that may be carried through a screening checkpoint.
What's your question, Henry?
Passengers should check with their air carrier.
I'm going to ATL. What's your question, Henry, Mr. Flores? Waiting. Oh. Who can we trade for a middle linebacker? There's a lot of talk that we need a little middle linebacker. I'm still not of the opinion that we do. I think it's an alignment issue. But the question is, I really believe that. But having said that, let me answer your question another way. Let me go here. First of all, there. Invest. Looking for standby Bailey Bradford. Okay, they're calling standbys, so hold on a second. I am going to have to one moment.
Also looking for Kesaya. Cheer, please report to the board of K62.
I want to put this down here. Hold on a second. They are calling. I'm a standby passenger. They're calling for standby, so I have to listen to my name and I have to get up and get my ticket, right? So that's what's happening here. So let's see here. In terms of linebackers, let me see something in terms of who might be available. NFL free agents. I think 2017. Let's see here. Linebackers. 4 days ago. All right. Let me give you a look. This is as of 4 days ago, okay? These are the top 50 free agents as of 4 days ago. And this was answer your question regarding linebackers, okay? Let's see here. This is according to NFL Trade Rumors. This will be top 50. Zach Orr, Baltimore, inside linebacker. He's listed as number 1. So if you're looking at somebody that the Raiders should consider, you've got Zach Orr. And you've got Penn Riley is actually listed as a free agent, so we could basically we could trade. We could take Perry Riley, get rid of him, bring up in Zach Orr as inside linebacker. He's 4 years younger. Okay, so that's what you're looking at as far as the top. Let me put it this way: 2 of the top 3 free agents are inside linebackers. Zach Orr with Baltimore and Perry Riley with the Raiders. How about that? So listed as a free agent. Riley's 29 years old. Okay. Now you've got who else? You got a cornerback. You have Darrelle Revis, number 8. He's 32 years old, and Austin Howard is listed here. He's 30. Okay, so there you go. Other linebackers, you got Paul Kruger of New Orleans. He's number 10. He's an outside linebacker. And Ray Malaluga out of Cincinnati. He is ranked number 31. Okay. So this is what I'm looking at here. Oh, Vincent Jackson's on this list too. This is what I'm looking at here. Right here. So let's see here. This is what I'm looking at here. Right there. Okay. That's what I'm looking at. Okay. There we go. All right. That's what I'm looking at. So let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. So there you go. All right. There we are. Hey, boss, you're asking me what? Oh, the number 1 is Zach Orr, inside linebacker. Now I'm not in favor of trading. I firmly believe the Raiders' problem is defensive scheme. I am not in favor of trading. That's another way of saying I don't like the scheme that's currently played, and I've said that before. I'll say it again. And so, let's see here. 9:51. So we have Mark Valeros, Jelly, and Marlowe. Henry Flores says, I have a question. I'm not a season ticket holder, but I want to go and see a training camp. How can I go about it? Hey, Henry, there are people on our list who are season ticket holders who may have tickets to a specific training camp date. Ask. I mean, you've got 28 on the stream now watching, so I would ask them. And yeah, Citron says you need to be a season ticket holder to know someone, but hey, look, there are people on this list, and maybe you can start some kind of exchange, right? So, hey, look, in spite of the fact, I'll say this, in spite of the fact that Khalil Mack was one of the sack leaders in the NFL, the Raiders were one of the lower ranking teams in terms of total sacks. So that's scheme. You know, it's not personnel, that's scheme. And I don't care what anybody says, Mario Edwards is a fantastic defensive lineman who's poorly coached. Boss. Okay? Thank you. Hey, amen. Exactly. Except for the Mario Edwards thing, right? I watch him go ballistic. Yeah, Mario Edwards is decent. He's fast. Drew Glaze says true, but the guy has a chip on his shoulder. Well, yeah, you want a chip on his shoulder. You want a player that plays with an edge. You want that, okay? You want that. Okay? Ted Hendricks. I interviewed Ted Hendricks. Hey, folks, interview with Ted Hendricks is here on Zenny 62. Interview him on Saturday in Napa. So, oh, you need 2 tickets for this Saturday? You have a 5-year-old boy that loves the Raiders. Well, folks, Henry Flores needs 2 tickets. Henry, maybe you should, well, I don't know if you put your email down there, but you can put your email in a way. You know, like Henry Flores, and you have to spell the @ sign, right? You can do that. So, limited spots. Yeah, they do have limited spots. And yeah, I'm at the airport. I am at the airport. I'm at SFO, and it is 9:53. So, Boss says Raider defense lacks talent. Yeah, but the scheme is lousy. I'm sorry, I just don't like their scheme. There's nothing particularly difficult about it to coach against, okay? And in these days, you need that kind of edge. You can't rely on talent all the time, because talent can be exposed by a different type of offensive approach. So I'm not in love with this idea that you have to go after the perfect player. There's no such thing. There is, however, a player for all seasons, all schemes.
Also looking for Irachi.
And so Citron, how are you? Citron says they only have Wednesday, Thursday next week open. Citron says he has tickets Monday, but something came up. Okay. Boss Rua says, but here's my point is this. I don't know how many times people have said that a defense didn't have talent, then they change coaches, and suddenly the people that they called all kinds of different names, then all of a sudden are outstanding. Look at what Tony Dungy did with the Colts defense after getting in players that matched his speed approach, right? Look at what Stanford has done under David Shaw with their different way of coaching tackling. You know? So, coaching means everything. Everything. And so, well, Baus says, how many times have the Raiders changed defenses since 2003? You mean defenses in terms of scheme or in terms of personnel? Well, technically, they're changing personnel all the time, so I don't understand your question. So, hey, Flora, Henry, you worked that out with Citron? I don't know where Steve Collins is. Let's see here. And so, oh, how many times have the Raiders changed personnel in the scheme? Well, technically, they change it all the time, okay? Because you have to remember that if a player goes down by injury, that may be your star inside out linebacker, it may be your defensive end, that throws you into a dispersal drill. It also impacts your special teams players. You also may be compelled to take someone from offense. Look at Belichick when he used Troy Brown years ago. Troy Brown was his wide receiver. He put Troy Brown in as a defensive back. That worked out really well. And so when you say, how many times has it changed since 2003? The answer is a lot. But if you mean in terms of base philosophy, and the Raiders, I was never a fan of, what was the defensive coordinator? Not Sumner, but Chuck Bresnahan. Yeah. I was never a fan of Chuck Bresnahan's schemes. You know, nice guy, but scheme-wise, Bresnahan was not the coach for me, okay? They were not loose. They were too loose. They weren't the pressure kind of approaches that I favor, all right? So he didn't really get it done. Now, the coach that I liked that did the best for the Raiders was Willie Shaw. And Willie Shaw is David Shaw, the Stanford coach's dad. He had an incredible run as a defensive coordinator with the Raiders. I thought he was arguably the Raiders' best defensive coordinator of the 21st century. Yeah, or, you know, turn of the century. So, I'm watching the seat map here. So, oh, Willie Shaw went to your church. Wow. Who was he like? Yeah, exactly. Bresnahan also was right. You know, Chuck Bresnahan was the reason we lost to the Raiders at 3rd and 18. I was at that game. I think you were too. Well, that made me sick. And then how about Shannon Sharpe over the middle for 96 yards? Oh, boy, oh boy. Not cool. Not cool. Palma Salajat Baptist Church. That's where he went. Okay. Did you know Willie Shaw? Hey viewers, my you can't see the strips here, but one of my consistent viewers knows or went to church with former Raiders defensive coordinator Willie Shaw, who's also the father of David Shaw, the current Stanford football head coach. That's what this is about. And Oscar Grant went with you too? Wow. Oscar Grant, man, rest in peace.
Local proprietor Jonathan Griffin. Jonathan Griffin, please report to the board of KJ52.
Listening to my name, for my name. So we've got, let's see here. Going up the list.
Robert Andrew. Georgia, please report to the board.
I'm going to be called soon. All right. Drew Glaze says, I think we're going to use Cordell Patterson. I do too. I agree with that. I agree with you there. I agree with you there. Invest. Okay. Remember, your dollars keep us going. So, and, hey, good night, Mr. Baus. Thank you for your contributions. And Drew Glaze says, opens up for Cook to make a ton of catches. Yeah, he does. And that Clifford Walford, the tight end, number 88, had a great first camp for the Raiders. I like the crossing patterns he was running. So, that's what we got. Let's see here. Walford has not been pushing himself. Well, actually, hey, Drew, he had a good first day, Saturday. Walford did, training camp. They put him in the right situations. He was catching the short drive patterns across this formation. Caught one for 21 yards and a first down. So he did that 3 times. I thought it was quite effective. And
looking for Jonathan.
Oh,
Please,
oh,
Jonathan,
the
please.
proper. You
Please
mean?
report to the board at page 52.
Are you talking about to invest? It's PayPal here. Here is the link. Okay. PayPal. That's the link. Oh, if you use that one. See that one? Hey, Frosty, that should come up in your cell phone. Did you see that, Frosty? Let me know. Because it came up in mine. If you click on that link, it'll take you to PayPal. And click on the link there, and you can invest from there. Okay? And then I'll send you your shares as soon as I'm able to go on, as soon as I get your investment, of course, and then add that to the list. Okay. Drew Glaze says they've been, yeah. Drew, you're right. They have been. They're very creative for the first day out in their use of double tights with motion, and I like their base pass offense. You know, it's going to be effective. I also like the introduction of weak side passing. So I liked what I saw overall. I really did, and it's a good. There's that word again, base, to build off of in terms of variations of passing. It's not exactly what I would do, but I'm talking about what they are going to do, right? That's what I'm talking about. So, did you see that, Frosty? Let's see here. Let's see here.
The USO Center invites all active traveling members of the military, Reserve Guard, and their dependents to enjoy USO facilities on the messaging.
And they're all queuing up, folks. Let me show what's going on here as I wait for.
Further information, please
okay,
call
cool.
the USO
Frosty.
on courtesy.
That's what I'm looking at, folks. This is see, they're all over there. They're all queuing up to get on the flight, waiting for me, sort of. Drew Glaze says they've been using the Raiders some 2 tight end sets. That makes my wish come true. They use 2 tight end sets. Yeah, Frosty says give me he's working on it. Cool, definitely. And I'd love to have you as part of our investor group, Frosty. Be a valuable addition. Really well. So
once again, looking for Jonathan, please. Jonathan, please report to the podium again.
And waiting for my name to be called on the standby list. That's what I'm waiting for. So as they queue up, I just want the exit row. Give me the exit row. All right. Let's see here. Oh, I'm getting that Max spinning wheel of death because I've got the page open over here. 23 watching now. Okay, cool. All right. And I'm waiting for my name to be called because once my name is called, I have to get up and get the ticket and then come back. Okay. That's what I'm waiting for right now. So, in fact, hold on a second.
Looking for April, Jenna Bond.
Yeah.
Jenna Bond,
Hold on a
please
second.
report to the podium.
That's me. Yeah.
Attention please, change gate assignment at Airlines Flight 863
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, I'd like to start boarding for flight number 1152 to Atlanta here at gate number 62. Let's start with our pre-boarding. Anyone needing extra time, such as a disability or wheelchair assistance? Anyone traveling with a child under the age of 2? Any active military, please come forward as well. And also our global service. Please join me at this time.
All right. Got the ticket. Cool. All set. And Ta-da, billet, as the French would say. Bon billet. And so Henry Flores says, Zenny, which English soccer firm would you correlate as a Raiders fan? Arsenal, Manchester United. Arsenal, Manchester United. When I think of Manchester United, I think of the Dallas Cowboys. You know, I think of the Cowboys. Hey, folks, I'm gonna queue up, get on the plane because now I've got my ticket. And everyone's boarding there. Okay, so I had to get in line. I'll see everybody later. See you tomorrow. Godfather Grizz and I are supposed to have a show tomorrow night from our respective places in Oakland and Atlanta. So I will see everybody later. And thank you, okay? And Frosty the Snowman, hey, hope you invest, man. Don't be a stranger. Fire it up. Because usually if you invest, I see a mark that says PayPal, Frosty, whatever your real name is, and did that, right? So I'll know when you invest. And then when you invest, and get the shares to you. So whatever you invest is fantastic.
If you are traveling with children today and have a stroller,
all right, thanks. I gotta go, folks. I gotta get on this flight, and I gotta get on that plane to Atlanta. So I'll see everybody later. Okay, I'll see you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, see ya.